A question that is very often asked by students is when do we use por and when do we use para in Spanish? So I'm going to have a go at giving you a summary of the answer. There's lots and lots of details, of course, but this is a general picture. There are three main differences. The first difference is por meaning reason for something as opposed to para meaning the purpose for something. We can also understand this as por meaning because of, para meaning in order to. And here's an example. Llego tarde por el tráfico. That means I arrive late or I'm late because of the traffic, for that reason. And you can contrast this with voy a clases para aprender más. I go to classes in order to learn more. So that's the first basic difference in focus, reason and purpose. Second difference, the best way I can describe it is por meaning exchange and para meaning one-way transfer. I couldn't find a neater way of saying that. And I've got a similar sentence here which should illustrate the difference. Compré el libro por 10 euros, which means I bought the book for, that is in exchange for, 10 euros. Similar sentence, compré el libro para mi madre. I bought the book for my mother, in other words, to give to her as a present, going one way and not an exchange. If I make the mistake and say, compré el libro por mi madre, I'm saying I bought the book in exchange for my mother, which is maybe not what you want to say. Two other illustrations of the same thing. Gracias por, thank you for, and I understand this as you give me some help. I've got gracias por su ayuda, thank you for your help. You give me some help and in exchange I give you thanks, so it's por. Para mí, another one-way thing is if you're in a bar and you say para mí, for me, para mí un café. I know afterwards it's an exchange for money, but in that situation it goes one way, para mí. So that's number two, exchange, one-way transfer. Number three is a time-related concept. Por meaning a period of time, whereas para meaning a point in time, a deadline in time. And I've got one sentence to illustrate each. Voy a Inglaterra por 2 meses. This is a very frequent mistake. People always say para. It's voy a Inglaterra por 2 meses. I'm going to England for a period of 2 months. Actually, I've got there 2 semanas, 2 weeks. Por 2 semanas, for a period of 2 weeks. Para is the deadline, so we've got los deberes son para martes. The homework is for Tuesday, for a point in time, a deadline. So I know that was a bit brief, but those actually cover 3 of the main differences. Reason, purpose, exchange, one-way transfer, period of time, time deadline. And then there's lots and lots of other uses, particularly of por, and I've just summarised a few. I'm not sure you can see them all very clearly. We use por to mean by, as in el libro fue escrito por Delibes. The book was written by. I think we have this in another video as well, the same example. By meaning times, as in times tables and also measurements. So we've got el suelo mide 10 por 10 metros. The floor measures 10 by 10 or 10 times 10. Same idea is 2 por 3 son 6. 2 times 3 is 6. By means of, por helicóptero, by helicopter, por teléfono, by phone, by means of. And then the last one, which I actually don't think you can see on the screen, is por as a preposition, meaning through or throughout. So I could say por la ventana, through the window, por todo el mundo, throughout the world. Additional uses of para. There aren't so many. One really good one is para mí, meaning in my opinion. I might be describing somebody I think is brilliant and I say para mí es un genio. For me, as in my opinion, and this is used a lot in that sense. And also destination, physical destination rather than a time deadline. El tren para Madrid, the train for Madrid. So as you can see, there are a lot of fiddly bits. There's 3 main sections I think we could divide it in. Our problem, of course, is the translation Very often it translates as for, but hopefully that will give you a reasonable basic idea of the two different concepts of por and para.